Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here and we're at Six Flags Magic Mountain today checking out all of the markers that have mysteriously shown up over the past couple weeks. So let's go.
So lots of progress has happened with these markers as of late, and this is over by Riddler's Revenge. If you're wondering, there are many orange markers showing off a specific pattern throughout the Metropolis area as well as the DC Universe area, which we will get to in just a bit of time. But here's some close-up shots with some reference of where they are in the area of Metropolis. It's right next to the big central planter, actually, and here is a side planter near Riddler's Revenge and the exit of Tidal Wave specifically. Tidal Wave is going to be brought up a lot in this video, just to let you know, but that's because there are markers within the pool of Tidal Wave itself. But most of these markers are creating a semi-straight line all the way towards the Teen Titans Tower Pizzeria. So it's very interesting to see all of these markers showing up. The last time we saw markers like this was for West Coast Racers preparation, but you can see dotted lines here. I'm wondering what that means. There are also those dotted lines in the DC Universe as well. And here is just a close-up look of all of the markers within Tidal Wave, creating a straight line with those markers that we saw in the rest of the Metropolis area. And at the end of this video, I will have a map of everything that has happened so far, but it's very interesting to see the layout of all of these markers for a potential 2021 attraction that might be coming to Six Flags Magic Mountain. But a lot of these markers go straight through Tidal Wave itself, as well as are underneath that exit bridge and go through a lot of these planters as well. Here's an interesting question mark, though. I'm guessing for some sort of plumbing work, potentially, if anything. But the interesting thing is, Tidal Wave is said to open later this spring. So Tidal Wave might be open this spring, which would be cool to get some final rides on it, if it is leaving, of course. But we'll just have to wait and see for that. Now, some interesting markers. These are in front of Crazanity and are next to Tidal Wave's entrance as well. These are two markers that we found over there that are a little different than any other markers that we've seen, and they definitely seem to be for the surveying of land and being able to make a sight line from those spots. But here is some markers inside of DC Universe itself in these giant planters. There were actually a lot of them next to Green Lantern in specific. This marker in specific is behind this little kettle corn vendor, and getting up close looks at all of these markers is really crazy to think about. I mean, you have two right there. Now, the interesting thing is with the DC Universe section, it isn't so much of a straight line anymore. It kind of spreads out a little wider than it does over in the Metropolis section of the park. But all of these markers are in pretty much a straight line. They just get a little wider as they go towards Green Lantern. So I'm very interested to see what happens with that in the future and what this potential attraction could be. I mean, last time we saw markers that were orange like this, it was actually showing off places for supports for West Coast Racers. Now, of course, as this is for a 2021 attraction, Green Lantern Station is definitely going to be taken out, and that's judging by the fact that there is at least one marker in that area that would cut straight through, as you can see right there from the exit pathway. But here's an interesting marker that I found yesterday that was brand new, and it's blue. There are no other markers that are blue on this project as of yet, so I'm incredibly intrigued with this marker in specific, but we'll just have to wait and see what that will hold in the future, just like all of these markers. But here's just a quick look at those pink lines I was talking about earlier on the opposite side of this project, which is very interesting to see. But just to give you an overview of everything, here is a map with all of the markers that we found yesterday and what colors they are. It is super interesting to see all of this happening at the park, and I'm super excited to see everything that's going to happen potentially in the near future, especially with how big this area is. I mean, we're talking around a 500-foot long piece of land and at least a good 50 feet wide or so at points. Now, after seeing all of these markers in this specific layout, I'm very interested to see what will be happening in the future and what this potential attraction could be. I know I've heard a lot of people spouting out Raptor or a Jersey Devil clone, but after doing some quick math with where all of the markers are, at least as of now, this area of land would be a little short for a Jersey Devil clone. Now, I'm not ruling out a Raptor, of course, but honestly, at this rate, I have absolutely no idea of what this attraction could be. But nonetheless, I am incredibly excited to see if this is even an attraction that will be coming to the park in 2021.
So I hope you enjoyed this little scavenger hunt for markers for the 2021 project, at least potential 2021 project. We'll of course keep our eyes out here, so you should definitely subscribe if you like this content. And make sure to go check out our vlogs and reviews alike because we post all the time. But I want to say a huge thanks for watching. But until next time, we'll see you on the next ride.